Let's talk now to basketball analysts Bea Fabregas and Adrian D about this blockbuster trade. First of all, I am surprised because of the trade, but I am also surprised that you are here, Adrian D, because I thought you would be on your honeymoon. So congratulations for getting married this weekend. Bea naman.
Oh, congratulations also. I was not aware, but congratulations. I'm also very happy to be here, but yeah.
You have a live congratulations from Bea today. Bea, I know why you're here because of your attachment to the Spurs. Pero attached ka pa ba? Kasi si Tony Parker lumipat na sa Charlotte.
You know, I've had to explain this. My loyalty is with the team, but let's not talk about Tony Parker.
Okay,
I might cry. So let's, focus on Kawhi and this massive trade.
Well, for one, I am surprised because I thought that Toronto would keep DeRozan. Some are saying that he is the greatest Raptor ever.
Yeah.
But kayo ba? Nagulat ba kayo sa biglang pagpalit nila ng players, Kawhi for DeMar DeRozan?
You know, ako naman, I guess lahat naman tayo, we were all just waiting for Kawhi to go somewhere. Hindi lang natin alam. Like, after LeBron and the Lakers deal kind of settled, we were waiting if this was going to, happen. But I was shocked about DeMar DeRozan, and him being traded because, as we know that Kawhi has expressed, one, he doesn't want to play for the Raptors. Two, we know he wants to be in LA. So I think, what I understood is parang the Raptors were taking a chance na siguro parang magiging Paul George na, 1 year siya dyan and then he'll extend. But I don't know. I mean, kasi nga, I've been discussing with so many people that did not know that Kawhi was this much of, sorry for the word, but diva has been thrown around so many times. At saka parang yun yung feeling ko na, who knew, sabi ng friend ko, that behind the quiet demeanor was a bad attitude. And it is a bad attitude, you know what I mean? I feel like he had a bad attitude all season, and especially for Spurs fans, sobrang unusual yun para sa mga fans ng, that follow this organization. So, ayun lang. Oo. Yun lang naman. Oo. Very emotional. So, what about Adrian?
I think you were nodding your head, Adrian. Right. I think you agree with what Bea just said.
Pero I think let's not put this all siguro on Kawhi kasi maraming nagsasabi na it's his Uncle Dennis na who was sort of controlling the whole discussion na gusto niyang lumipat sa LA. Kaya it's kind of ironic na he wanted to go to sunny LA, they're shipping him to snowy, cold Toronto. So parang may galit din si Coach Popovich doon, no? I think what's interesting for me is the player they got was DeMar DeRozan. A lot of people, when they're talking about the trade packages of the Lakers, the 76ers, puro young players and picks. But then when you look at this trade, it's a guy who's an established superstar, an all-star caliber player, and a backup center na he's young, he's 22 years old, pero hindi siya yung top candidate as a young player ng Raptors. That's like OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. And so, parang a lot of people have been suggesting that the Spurs really have this mindset now. We're still going to compete. We're not going to rebuild. Even though we trade away Kawhi Leonard, we still figure to be in the hunt for a playoff spot in the Western Conference this season.
Okay, bago natin puntahan si DeMar DeRozan, I just want to go back to where the problem started with the Spurs and Kawhi, because I vividly remember nung nag-champion, nung nakuha ni Kawhi ang kanyang kauna-unang championship sa Spurs, he was very young. He was about 21 years old. And you would think that with his demeanor, yung quiet demeanor nga niya, parang Tim Duncan, he would be a Spur forever. So this came as a shock to me. Saan ba nagkaroon ng problema ang Spurs at ang Kawhi? And why was the dinners, yung mga secret dinner ni Kawhi at Greg Popovich to try to salvage the relationship, why was that not enough?
First of all, it started with Zaza Pachulia. Let's all just establish this. Because I mean, that I watched that over and over again, and it was really, it was an unnecessary movement, that took place. And so obviously we can't keep going back to that. But I guess when it comes to Kawhi, I mean, there were so many things. The thing about the Spurs organization is you don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean? They only let us know like few bits and pieces here and there. So when they said that maybe it was a misdiagnosis of his injury, I mean, I guess as a player with all that potential, and we're talking about like back-to-back defensive, player of the year, and first team all NBA. I mean, he knows what he's capable of.
Yep.
And so when you play 9 games in a season, I don't think it's because you were not capable to play. I really felt like he was, in a sense, he was doubting already because, you know, Parker said it, I had a worse injury but I came back, and we know that it wasn't because his injury was bad, it was maybe because he didn't know who to trust in the organization, which I feel is a little sad because we know that the Spurs have built this reputation, and for this to have happened with Kawhi Leonard after, you know, Duncan and Ginobili and Parker, well, we're still praying for Ginobili, but again, you know what I mean? It's sad. It really is sad, but I trust in Pop and everybody else, so we'll see. What's you have to say?
If Bea trusts in Pop, why weren't those dinners with Kawhi to convince him perhaps to stay enough for him to stay?
Again, yun talaga yung question, because if we've never heard from Kawhi in a long time. The last time we heard from Kawhi, he said that he wanted to be a Spur for life. And then something happened, or either that or someone else is speaking for him. That's why a lot of people are really suspicious about his agent and his uncle. So a lot of people are like, does Kawhi really want this? Is this talaga what Kawhi hopes to achieve in his career, or is it just his uncles advising him that these moves are for your future? If we go to LA, you will have a brighter future, you will be a superstar. We really don't know, and we probably won't know until there's a press conference and we can hear him speak for himself.
Yeah, and I hope that happens, because up to now his injury and his situation still remains a mystery.
It is a mystery. It really is.
All right.
Strange.
Let's go to DeMar DeRozan, and I want to start with his Instagram story, wherein he said, "Be told one thing and the outcome another. Can't trust him. Ain't no loyalty in this game. Sell you out quick for a little bit of nothing." Wow.
I know. Bigat.
Your reactions, guys.
I wasn't even aware it was 9 years with the Raptors.
Right.
Parang sabi ko, wow, as in 9 years pa na pala natin pinapanood si DeRozan, alam mo yon. And it's not just that, social media has made all of these videos with Kyle Lowry and their, the bromance, the brotherhood.
Nila.
So, nakakalungkot, and you can understand where he's coming from. I'm sure the Spurs will welcome him with open arms, and it's going to be, I'm sure they'll be able to find. He doesn't look like he's difficult to work with, and you can kind of put him in a system, but being somewhere and investing all your time and effort for 9 years, and then just knowing all of a sudden in 2 weeks, bye. I guess it's very, very painful, and also for the fans, for the Raptors. Yeah.
I think kasi yung context nun was that during the start of Summer League, he asked the Raptors management, "Will I get traded?" And they told him no. And then all of a sudden, sorry, you have to go.
And it happens so fast too.
Siguro yun yung masakit, no? To be told that you're not going, then to all of a sudden be in fact traded. Pero yun talaga yung reality in the NBA na you can get traded at any moment, and the team's word is really only as good as their management. And so we've been seeing a lot of this na the players na when they become free agents or they're about to be free agents, like Kawhi, they're now more active to find the organization that they feel na is the best fit for them. And so it's right for him to be angry at the team, and I think as fans we shouldn't take it against him na galit siya, because in fact it was something that they basically broke their word for him. So as Bea said, I really think he'll enjoy his place with the Spurs. It's just a matter of siguro getting angry right now, and then kapag start ng regular season and they play against the Raptors, he will probably dunk on a couple of people's heads, and it'll be really fun to watch.
Exactly.
All right, for a final question, let's think about the basketball side of it and the competition in the East. With LeBron moving west, the East is now up for grabs. And the Raptors have always been petrified of LeBron in the playoffs. LeBron goes to the other side. You ship out DeMar DeRozan when you're the #1 seed in the East. Why did the Raptors do that and take a risk with a guy who's a mystery?
I think they looked at like the Boston Celtics na babalik si Kyrie Irving, babalik si Gordon Hayward, and they had Jason Tatum show a lot of promise in his rookie year. You go naman to Philadelphia, you have Embiid and Simmons always improving. If they had stayed pat, they didn't make any moves besides change their coach, their chances of being the top team in the East, it's kind of low. Let's admit it, because those two other teams are much more loaded. So they had to roll the dice and say, anong pwedeng natin gawin? And they went out and got a guy who is a Finals MVP, and that's a huge upgrade. DeRozan is a great player. He's their franchise leader in points. But if you can get a Finals MVP, someone who's a lockdown defender, you kind of have to make that move.
Yeah, if I had to choose about something like who are you gonna put, you know, the ball in whose hands, I would always go with Kawhi. Healthy Kawhi.
Healthy Kawhi.
Completely, you know, healthy. You would go with Kawhi. And so you know, as you were explaining that, Anton, naisip ko lang, you know, DeMar has been playing LeBron all these years in the East, and now he's in the West, and he has to play LeBron again. Hindi niya ma-escape si LeBron. But, I mean, I understand what the Raptors are really trying to do is get Kawhi to stay and to build a relationship and build, you know, trust. And so we shall see. It's going to be a very interesting year and how this is all going to unfold.
Very interesting indeed. Wala pa tayo sa preseason, and I hope we can talk more in the future. Bea, thank you so much for the time, and Adrian, congratulations again. Hey everybody, this is Anton Rojas. For more sports updates, keep watching The Score, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's ABS-CBN Sports and Action.